Welcome to our whiskey distillery. We the new proud owners.
We build it from scratch.
We sailed into Myken and we're on our way to Lufen.
We're
only going to spend the night, but now we bought a whiskey distillery.
Hello everyone. In this episode of Life in Myken, we'll see that we get some surprise visitors, and whether they take over the distillery or not, you'll have to wait and see. My son has to jump away from the waves during a period of quite extreme weather, even more than we're usually used to out here. The kids often like to play around with a zip line that we made a couple of years ago. Here's our friend Benjamin getting ready. It's quite fun to hang there dangling 30 meters above the ground with a magnificent view. But in this case, there is so much weather, the wind is straight against him, that the poor guy doesn't even get all the way across. And of course, part of the fun disappears when you have to pull yourself in the last 15 meters or so. Following a fairly calm winter, really, the spring has been really windy, and it's been days and days without any boats going into Myken. And it's easy to understand why when you see the state that the ocean can be in during these storms. Nobody would like to be out there in this kind of weather. Some people wonder how we dare to live in such a place where we can be beyond help from other people for long periods of time. And of course the answer to that, or at least part of the answer, is Norway's very well developed emergency services. I know several people who have had their lives saved by quick helicopter response in Myken. A more normal presence though is our ambulance boat. It's even named after Myken, very nice boat, which with its really tough crew can come out here in almost any conditions. And it's operated by the Norwegian Sea Rescue Society, and without them it would be a lot more sketchy to live out here for sure. Now, being a distillery manager is sometimes a lot more physical than I thought. For instance, sampling some of our oldest and most inaccessible casks can be quite an epic quest. So down this hole is where we have to go. Okay. I have to admit, I may have underestimated this task. It's going to be quite tricky to get in there. You probably won't even see it. Okay, since I'm down here, I'd better make a try of it. Oh, finally managed to get that bung opened up. Now, let's see if we can get any whiskey out. Dum-de-dum-de-dum. Siphoning is the only option. Not much room to maneuver the camera, so this is what we get. Go. This hose curves a bit too much. Difficult. Well, at least I get a small sip now and then. Better than nothing. Stay there, please. You probably won't see this, but I'm having to crouch down inside a space that's maybe 6 inches wide. Get low enough for the siphoning to work, while making sure that this actually goes into the liquid, doesn't curl up. Here we go. Almost. Whiskey tastes good. So if I get a little bit incoherent, it's because I have to try this so many times. Oh well, I managed to get 3/4 of a bottle. Should be okay. Whew. You see? Wonderful color. Well, it wasn't easy, but we made it. And it just may have been worth it for some of the oldest whiskey that we have. 6 years. Look forward to trying that one. Visiting sailboats used to be quite common in Myken, except for the last year, of course. But a couple of weeks ago, suddenly this small boat flying a Canadian flag came sailing into our harbor. So we were really intrigued, and we were so happy to find that these guys were probably some of the most interesting people we've had in a very long time.
Welcome to our whiskey distillery. The new product.
We built it from scratch.
We sailed into Myken, and we're on our way to Lufin.
We're
only going to spend the night, but now we bought a whiskey distillery.
Well, we have a visit from some YouTube royalty today. We have Dan and Kika from the YouTube channel Sailing Uma. Very nice to have you guys here.
This is my whiskey. That's
Thank you for having us.
This has been fun.
Yes, it was a very non-planned visit.
Cool.
But as soon as we saw
Those
you
are
guys,
often the best, I think.
I agree.
Anytime you pull up to an island and the first person that greets you runs a whiskey distillery, you don't say no to a midnight tour.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, it's been really fun to see how everything is made and the story behind the logo and the story behind Myken.
Yes.
Myken?
You're the first foreigner to pronounce it correctly, I think.
Myken.
Most people say Myken or that kind of stuff, but Myken, that's the right one. Yeah.
Well, I think 2 glasses of whiskey will do that.
Yeah, the flavor
Always helps. But rumor has it you guys are not in a hurry, but you're thinking about leaving a bit early, aren't you?
Yes, we came here today, actually this afternoon, and we're already leaving bright and early
like
tomorrow.
5 hours.
Uh-oh.
No, first light. Yeah, we're gonna keep sailing to Lufin.
Yeah.
We've been struggling for almost a year now, making decisions on whether we sail or stay every single place we've been in Norway.
Yeah.
And I feel like we never get the answer right, but we're still sailing. Yeah. Especially in the spring where you get like one good day and then like 6 or 7 cloudy, rainy days. So you got to choose those. You got to use those good days wisely. It's either hiking or it's sailing.
But you guys are working your way sort of up the coast of Norway, so there's still hope that you might be stopping by, going down south again eventually.
There's hope, but we're probably going to be launching for Iceland in the summer. And then we were on our way to Iceland this past summer, but then we got stuck in Norway for a year because we showed up for like a day. We're like, wow, this place is amazing. Like, we can't leave for Iceland now. Let's spend all winter here. So, but Iceland's still on the list.
Yeah.
And maybe Greenland.
Yeah.
And then south, we need to start trending back into the color of these tanks and instead of the color of snow.
Yeah.
But we'll definitely be back. Even if it's not with our boat, I'm sure we'll come and visit again. Because
Excellent.
that's the thing, when you meet awesome people and you guys have such awesome stories that
We'll have to
thank
get
you.
a keg and come back and check in.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good point.
Get a barrel and in 5 years we'll be like, so how's the barrel doing?
Yeah, come check out.
Can we
the
have
new-
a taste?
Yeah. Right. We'll get a barrel, but it has to go in the new warehouse. Yeah. We'll cuddle with our barrel.
Well, it's been really nice having you guys visit us.
It's been
And
awesome.
all the best for your journey onwards. And we definitely want to see you again.
Yay, cheers.
Cheers. So Dan and Kika left after a whirlwind tour of Myken, but we really couldn't blame them because there was a forecast for some extreme waves and some extreme weather coming in. Waves of up to 30 meters is not something to take lightly, especially in a sailboat. But as it turns out, going from a wild idea to actual action is something that happens often with these people. So now Dan and Kika have actually ordered 2 casks of Myken whiskey to be filled and stored, awaiting their return eventually. Hey, Dan and Kika, I hope you are safe somewhere in the harbor because today it's really rough outside. I was hoping to cheer you up a little bit by showing you these barrels that I've picked out for you. They look a bit old and dirty and well used, but that's actually kind of the point in quite a bit of whiskey making, because these barrels in particular, they come from Spain. They have held the sherry for long enough to really soak it into the wood and saturate this wood with sherry. Now they've been emptied of that sherry and they come here, and when we fill them up with our spirit, it's going to make a whiskey that picks up a lot of the sweet, fruity, dark fruit, red fruit notes of sherry, making a really, really good whiskey. I think you're gonna like these. So right now they're sitting here empty in the warehouse. I'm gonna take them over to the distillery and fill them up. Smells delicious. Here they are, the world's 2 first Uma whiskey casks. Not only that, Norwegian Arctic whiskey inside them, which is kind of special. Made even from Norwegian barley, so this is as Norwegian as they get. Already, the Oloroso sherry, which has saturated the wood in these casks, has started to seep into the spirit, mellowing it, giving off its fruity character. So I think this is going to be a really interesting case to follow, to see how the taste develops over the years. Now the casks are looking pretty cool already with your UMA logo on them, but even cooler when we get our Myken logo painted on here. It takes a bit of time, but we're not in a hurry. They will also be transported back shortly to the new warehouse, our whiskey cathedral, and they will get some really good location in there where they can sort of view over the fjords and the sea, the mountains and everything, and really settle down and become a really maritime spirit, very suitable for UMA. Anyway, thanks for joining us for this journey. It is a journey, starting with fairly raw spirit, eventually mellowing over time into nice, complex, smooth whiskey. It is a journey indeed. And as we say here in Myken, here we always have time, both humans and whiskey, to mature properly. See you later. So UMA sailed out of Myken and set her course northwards on a pretty calm and nice day. Now we hope, of course, we have anchored them a little bit to Myken with those 2 casks waiting here, and we certainly hope to see them back here. And leaving when they did was probably a good idea, because only a couple of days later this is what the sea looked like in exactly the same area. Not something that you would want to strike out into if you didn't have to. Now, we quite often see this kind of sea around Myken, of course, and it can be really, really beautiful, especially when there's a nice and sunny day like this, and especially when you're on dry land with both feet. Because again, being out there in the boat is not something that you would desire to do. But it's also these conditions that make Myken what it is, make the people out here what we are, and it's definitely part of the whole experience of being out here. That being said, there is no doubt that now we are looking forward to brighter and calmer times for the summer, and it's going to be exciting what this summer will bring. If you stick with us, you will also get to experience what happens next here in Myken. Bye for now.